I'm here.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone to the Education Subcommittee of Ways and Means. We're meeting on the 21st of February. It's noon. We'll be taking up, looking at and possibly voting on 3 bills today: House Bill 204, House Bill 615, and House Bill 634. We'll take up House Bill 204 first, which we actually held in voting. We recognized a need to make an adjustment in definitions of coaches. This is a great bill that actually asks people to train coaches in mental health, and our continuing attention to the mental and behavioral health of our students. There are so many places where we can address it, and the sports field is certainly one of them. There's a lot of pressure there, and there's a lot of competition, and we really need to take care of students. So I really think this is a great idea. This bill is shared with appropriations because it also involves post-secondary, which they deal with. We are going to make an adjustment to our definition of coaches in the K-12 level. I think if Alistair will step up, we're going to align it a little more with the definition of the other one. And Alistair, I'll give you the floor to explain just real quickly why we need that amendment.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple amendment. This was something that the Maryland Association of Boards of Education asked for, I believe, in their testimony. It changes, it just makes sure that the definition of athletic program is broad enough to encompass all sorts of programs that are approved by the state board. So it is changed from a mainstream athletic program to an athletic program, and it includes interscholastic, intramural, and other sponsored athletic programs that are developed by the State Board of Ed. And I believe the Senate EEE committee voted on this same amendment, and the bill may be before on the Senate floor today with that amendment.
Thanks. We're trying to make sure we got Delegate Wu, who said he was having a little trouble finding his way on, and now here he is. Wonderful to see you, sir.
Search around, to find the keywords.
I know. So thank you for that description of the amendment. Are there any questions or comments about the amendment at this time? Okay, seeing none, Delegate Fair.
No question, just move the amendment.
You're moving the amendment. Do I have a second on the amendment?
Second.
Thank you, Delegate Wu. I appreciate your trust. Thank you so much. And so with that, if there's no further discussion, we'll take a vote on the amendment. All in favor of adding the amendment to House Bill 204, please raise your hands. Thank you. It's unanimous, and the amendment is added. On the bill, does anyone have a commentary or a motion?
I move
favorable.
I have a favorable motion, 2 favorable motions. One of them counts as the second in my humble judgment. I see Delegate Miller has her hand up. Is that motion or is that a question?
That's just a quick question. Like, what kind of how long is the training going to be? Is it just like, how are they going to get it? Where are they going to get it? Like, is it like burdensome?
I think we've left a lot of that to the people who created. I think this is in spirit, trying to make sure that something is created in this. So I don't think we've been too heavy-handed in the. Okay. I don't think the sponsor's too heavy-handed in the legislation here. Okay, just the idea we're drawing attention to the fact that you have to do it somehow. Okay. I think in this case, for coaches to be, alerted is, a good first step. If we want to go deeper later, I think we can, but I think we might find this works well.
So there's not like a certification or anything like that,
no.
Or anything they have to have. Okay, thank you.
Am I right on that, Alistair?
You're right, sir. It's MSD developing it with MDH, and then each school offers it based on that, what was developed.
Thanks. Delegate Fair, question?
Well, just add in to Alistair's great point that also the Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association will also be weighing in on how this program is built out. So I will just comment that we have back in Frederick County, we have elected officials who also serve as coaches through our school systems, and the impact that we hear from them on a daily basis about the position that they play as a mentor to young people. This is a critical need in our community to make sure that they have the tools and resources needed. So I'm very proud to vote for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I'll just add that not all coaches are teachers in the school. So all the training that teachers receive on this sort of thing would need to extend to coaches who are from the community or from other locations. So it's important for them. Delegate Miller, you still have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted a question too. I mean, I don't know how you could ever, do a note on this, but I always like, if you're going to have training for coaches and things like that, is there a way to make it available to like other youth coaches that might not be associated with the school, just as far as from like a best practice standpoint? Or is it going to be like a proprietary? I mean, it's off topic a little bit, but just something to
Yeah, I
think
see
about.
what you're saying. Since we haven't prescribed the training, in some cases, it might be that it's done in person by someone. In another case, it might be a PowerPoint of some kind or
Yeah,
another.
like
So
online.
given the number of different forms it would take, I think that would be, it's a great idea, and maybe we should do something like that. But I think probably we'd just do it with regards to the youth programs, having somebody make something available to them. It might be a little bit confusing here, but I like the thought, I really do, because you know, we've had bills where coaches have to receive a great deal of training at the, you know, the little league level. And one of our concerns is that if you require it, you're going to not be able to find people to coach little league. So, you know, the idea, so we have to be careful there, but offering it might be a really good idea going forward. Anybody have any more comment on the bill or any other amendments they want to offer? If you want, I'd take a motion on the bill.
Or I think the motion's already been made by Delegate
Oh,
Vogel.
was it?
Delegate Wu.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I thought that was on the amendment. I was thinking back to that. So, Alistair, is that right? I'm going to check Delegate Fair on this. Did we make a motion on this?
Yes, both Delegate Wu and Delegate Vogel did, and I think
Okay.
one of them was treated as the
And I
second.
joked that one of them was the second. I thought that was on the amendment. Sorry, losing my my train of thought a little. I'm going to take a vote on the bill. All in favor of the bill as amended, please raise your hands. Any objections, put your hand up. I don't see any. And Delegate Wilkins is being a little, you know, clandestine here. And so, you know, we can wait for we can just assume you're voting yes. I know you're very busy as
I'm
the
a
vice
yes.
chair.
I'm a yes.
Right. And if you want to put your hand up as a no on one of them, then, you know, I'll assume you're a yes if I don't see something otherwise. That carries unanimously, and House Bill 204 will be brought forward to the committee for vote as amended. Our next bill is House Bill 615. This is a bill that has been passed, I think, at least 1 year, maybe 2 years by this legislature. It is a bill that was described in some detail. I am going to actually offer some of the sponsors' commentary on this so we understand what this would do. There is a piece of education law that deals with crime. It really probably is an unusual place to have it. It is the understanding of the sponsor and myself that this was originally placed in code in order to heighten people's awareness of the incorrectness of coming to a school and disrupting a school for the general public or for parents or for anyone else. In other words, it was to say, if you come on a school and trespass or disrupt the classroom, that's a crime. How it has been interpreted is that it has been interpreted as a way of disciplining students. Sponsor says, and I agree, that it was never intended to be used that way, that there are adequate measures within schools to discipline students, and this is unnecessary for students. It's still a nice thing to have to help the school protect itself from outside influences, but as far as the students go, they can deal with it. And the important point is that if what a student does rises to the level of, say, assault, like they throw a chair at a teacher, this is assault, and this would be dealt with in the law, in the what's the name of the code book there, Alistair? Help me out.
The criminal code.
Criminal code, thank you. And so that would still be in place. The students can't get away with behaviors that are criminal in school. But in other words, if a student refuses to sit down, I think that was the example we had, they are disrupting a classroom and could be interpreted on this law to be arrested for that. We really feel the school has a responsibility of managing that on their own and wants it. And we talk about school to prison pipeline. So I like this bill. We've done it before. We have to talk the Senate into doing it, and it has no amendment. So I'll allow for commentary or motions at this point. Yes, Delegate Miller.
I voiced a lot of my committee or my concerns during the committee hearing. And so I'm going to be a no on this because I still have a lot of concerns as far as violence in our classroom and things and disruptions and everything that are going on in our school. So I'm a no. I just wanted to explain my vote.
Thank you for letting us know. Anybody else commentary on the bill? All right, do I have a motion?
Move favorable.
And Delegate Patterson moves favorable. Do I have a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Thank you. If there's no further commentary, we'll take a vote on this bill. All in favor of this bill, signify by saying aye or putting up your little color hand there in the corner. I'm doing that for the benefit. All right. And any opposed, I have lots of fours. Opposed, please. And opposed, I have Delegate Miller And that would be all. So we are 6-1 on this one. So this bill carries unamended and will be voted on in committee. Final bill we have today. Thank you, by the way, everybody. So for moving with such, I'm going to use a word of the day again, alacrity. Appreciate that one, everyone. The Buckle's not on the signal thing, so he didn't see that he was the word of the day today. House Bill 634, which deals with the longitudinal data system. One of the things that this does, and I'm going to let Alistair take this one because he not only knows what the bill does, but he also understands the need for it. And I'm going to let him explain it so that I don't mumble.
Thank you, sir. So the longitudinal data system is a center that Maryland has set up that tracks data from when someone is in school all the way through their participation in the workforce, and it allows people to do research on questions about what policy effects that are done during school years, how they end up impacting people when they join the workforce. As part of the general rules for the Maryland Longitudinal Data System Center, the state is prohibiting the sharing of that data with anyone outside of the state. They keep a very tight lid on it. This allows the sharing of that data with the U.S. Census Bureau. And the reason to do it is because the U.S. Census Bureau has a post-secondary employment outcomes project in which it has a project with a bunch of other states that does similar things to what MLDS does within Maryland in other states. And in order to participate in that program for the University of Maryland and other institutions in the state to be part of being able to look at how students at the education level end up in the workforce, we need to share the data with the U.S. Census Bureau. So that's all the bill does.
Delegate Wu.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Alistair, I have a question for the other state using the data from federal government to do that analysis.
Yes, I think that according to testimony we got from MICUA, 27 other states currently participate in the program. I'm not sure which states those are, but the majority of states do.
I see. Thank you. I just personally feel it will be really important for the school system to use that data to see how their program are doing, how the student after their graduation, what they're doing, how are we prepared our student, right, for the career readiness or college readiness. This information will be critically important to achieve that analysis. I really appreciate this effort.
Thank you for that affirmation. I will add that as a person who doesn't subscribe solely to testing as a way to measure our schools, I think the LDS is critical because what we're really trying to do in schools is create good citizens who have successful lives. And we can, beyond a test score in math or English, seeing how they're doing and getting as much information as we can is a good way for us to measure in the long term how we're doing in schools. So, Delegate Fair.
Mr. Chair, I think that everybody's in agreement that data collection is always critical to understanding how our society is working. With that, I would like to move favorable on the bill, please.
I have a favorable motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Thank you. Bill's been moved and seconded. Does anyone have any further questions or clarifications or opinions? Okay, seeing none, we'll take a vote on this bill. Everyone in favor of this bill, please put your hand up there in front of your screen a little bit. And opposed. I have one opposition. Hornberger, you're smiling, but you're not putting your hand up. So I assume you're not opposed.
I came in late. What was the title of the bill again?
This is House Bill 634 on the longitudinal data system. We're going to share some information with the census.
Fine with that.
Okay, so we have now we're full 8. We are 7-1, yep. And so therefore we will also bring this bill forward unamended for a vote. I would say on Thursday, but I think voting is getting moved. You can listen to the committee chair for that information. But at the next voting session, we'll be voting on this.
And also, there's a promise that we're going to do less longitudinal data bills in the future.
We're going to have a bill on no more longitudinal data bills. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Actually, I love the longitudinal data system. You know, it's printed, that logo is printed on my pillow. So there you go. I would like to say that we have conducted our business and stop rambling. You can all get to your other business, and I'll see you at 1 o'clock in committee. Thank you very much.